International Dream Team. Where to go now? This is the question that was wondered already at the most southern point of America. The choice was clear. Australia, a piece of the world that is more like another planet than another continent. The only remaining thing was to put the team together. We wanted to create a winning team and went for an international Czech-Polish-Slovak composition. From the South American expedition is Dan Prabin, author of the whole concept. Next is cameraman Zdeněk Kratky, who gave an excellent visual form to the series and film The Greatest Punk Polak Radek Jonah, who can repair anything, but also lose his passport twice. Finally, the immortal Slovak motorcyclist and optimist Marek Slobodnik. Through wasteland and islands, until green paradise. In Australia, it is not possible to conquer the furthest point of the continent as we are used to from the previous trips. It is too small and round for that. So we drive across the places that make it known as the most dangerous continent in the world, the places where you cannot find fuel or water for hundreds of kilometers. If we survive, the paradise of the Pacific will be waiting for us. We will try to swim across to the East Timor and then further to colorful Indonesia, where every island is different, until we enter into futuristic Singapore on the Asian mainland. We will go north through Malaysia to Thailand, from there to wild Cambodia, and if we are lucky, also to Vietnam, a place that does not welcome foreign vehicles with open arms. If this works out, we'll drive through Vietnam up to the northern border with China. We'll go along it until we get into Laos and then back to Bangkok. With the Trabant across the Pacific. Australia is a country in which perhaps there are laws for everything. I do not feel liberty and freedom in the air as I did in mysterious South America. Probably due to all these strict rules, we broke the Guyana record in waiting for our machines. They kept them there for an incredible 3 weeks, but finally they are ours. My journey began on the Day of Fools, on the 1st of April, when I traveled to Prague with a fever of 39.5 degrees Celsius on a bus full of our national minority. The trip was full of music and singing. I'm not saying it was uncomfortable, but sleepless, tired, and destroyed, I was plodding through snowy Prague to the airport. Damn. I wished that I had shifted my flight to another date. I wondered whether in Perth, Australia, they would suspect me of Ebola and put me into quarantine. Finally, everything went well, and after a 15-hour flight, we set foot on the Australian mainland. Bohus, the Czech guy who helped us a lot, was waiting for us at the airport. He has lived in Perth for 6 years and offered us accommodation. Respectively, he allowed us to build our Perth base camp, a town of tents, in his garden. So we had a place to store our stuff, and there was especially a lot of room for the preparation and completion of our machines. I spent my first days mostly in bed, but I felt that the heat and a different climate would work positively on me, and I'd get better. Many Slovaks and Czechs live in Perth. They even published their own magazine called Kangaroo. We made the front page. We did not suffer any hardship due to various invitations to barbecues or to go on trips. We used everything we could while we were without cars or motorbikes. For me, the most interesting was the Pinnacles National Park, which has rock formations that are considered to be petrified tree trunks. It's a really interesting place that looks like it's from another world. Besides natural beauty, also kangaroos captivated me. They remind me of deer with 2 legs. I managed to make a minor faux pas about the Aborigines, the indigenous people of Australia, which of course I have not even seen, in a live broadcast interview with one big Polish radio station. Living in Australia is not as easy as many people think. You can make a lot of money, but you also spend a lot more. The hourly rate ranges from 20 Australian dollars for the most inferior work, which seems like a lot after converting it to euros. However, when you want to have a beer in a pub, get ready to pay $10 and smoking will raise their cost of living by a further $25 for a pack of cigarettes. I consider food to be 2 to 3 times more expensive than at home. Only the brand, home brand, is cheaper, but sometimes I find it really not edible. The most important information is the price of gasoline, which is around €1 per liter. So, making some money here is of course possible, but I think the worst of all are the laws, rules, and prohibitions. In terms of freedom, I can't compare this continent with South America. So far, I have not moved much from Perth, except for trips to the surrounding areas, so after I've been on the road for a while, I may change my mind. From your original South American crew, 4 remained. Radoslaw Żona, a Pole who can lose everything, especially a passport. Zenek Kratki, a cameraman with the new Australian nickname Zendura. And of course the governor, Dan Prabin, Marek Slobodnik, and me. The new members are Marcin Obalik, the guy who wants to go around the globe on a tractor, who after 4 years managed to travel around all of South America. Jacob Kauchi and Kristina Madajova, great travelers and wheelchair users who have their own Trabant called Hikomat. It used to be the only East German car designed for disabled people. Wojtek Ducheslav, our new photographer, and Dominika Galitzkova, a crazy biker who drove from the Czech Republic to Kyrgyzstan and back last year. We have a team of dreams, and after 3 weeks, also the container full of the yellow treasury. 2 Trabants, a Maluk, a Jawa 250, and a CZ 175 have already driven the first kilometers on Australian roads. By the way, it takes a while to get used to driving on the left side. It's an amazing feeling, and I am delighted that we can finally start. We are doing the final adjustments, and in the coming days we'll start into the unknown Australian inland east of Perth for our adventure.